Hey, what's up, Gemini? Thank you for being here. Let's see what your core energy is for this reading. Alright. What have we got for Gemini's core energy? Core energy for Gemini for this reading is, King of Cups reversed. Water energy, cusping with Cancer. Perhaps you are a Cancer cusp, Gemini. Kind of a toxic energy. Emotional manipulation. Possibly yourself, possibly manipulation from others. Very curious. Very curious. I'm just going to move right on into the first supporting energy for you. What is Gemini's first supporting energy for this King of Cups in reverse energy? First supporting energy, the Empress in reverse. Wow. Pisces energy, but in reverse. Man, watch out for the emotional manipulation. You're not going to be able to regenerate for yourself properly. It's not going to be healthy. Not healthy if someone else is doing it to you. Not healthy if you are doing it for somebody else. Definitely try and move beyond these kind of emotional traps. These toxic emotional traps. Try and find some higher vibrance. Let's see, what clarifiers do we have for the Empress in reverse? First clarifier for Empress in reverse supporting energy for Gemini. Wow, Chariot in reverse. Once again, Cancer energy, but in the reverse. So you could be a Gemini cusp, or excuse me, you could be a Cancer cusp, Gemini with a Cancer cusp, because this is all water. Water energy, the Chariot is Cancer, is water, and then Pisces in reverse. So a ton of reverse energy, Gemini. This happens sometimes with Geminis. When they don't have their stability down, they do not have their stability down. And their ability to take action is impeded. Their ability to regenerate is impeded. They even become open to emotional manipulation. So I hope that is not you. Do not become emotionally manipulated. Do your best not to emotionally manipulate others. Because this is a very jarring energy. And I'm also not seeing a lot of, okay, so because of all of this water and the fact that you're a Gemini, one of the calls to you here, one of the calls for you, is to, you gotta control your emotions to some degree. You've got to rationalize these unhealthy feelings out of the picture. You have to, I hate to use the term dominate them, but as a Gemini, masculine energy, air is masculine, being sort of leashed around by all of these feelings is not exactly your primary dynamic. So let me get a secondary clarifier here for the Empress in reverse. Secondary clarifier, the Devil. Wow. Double Pisces energy. Empress reverse Pisces into the Devil, which is also Pisces energy. And I know that's not a common read of this card, but that's my personal take on the Devil. It is Pisces energy. So, water. You are just watered up to your, whatever you are watered up to, I tell you what. And so this is actually very curious. A lot of times the Devil energy is about serving others, about your energy going into the well-being of other people, and the priority being other people's well-being over your own. So I'm almost getting the vibe here that perhaps you or whomever this is referring to is kind of in a selfish state, and that is leading to a lot of energy issues. And we're seeing the Devil come out here in the upright. It's definitely a call to put this energy into something else. Alright, let's get another clarifier. You also, by the way, have 3 major arcana here. All water. Alright, what is the final clarifier for Gemini's Empress? Final clarifier for Gemini's Empress in reverse? Wow, 10 of Wands reversed. Dang, Jim. This Devil. If it is you serving other people, it's got to stop a little bit. You're not getting the returns you deserve. It's drawing you in many ways. You're expending way too much energy. It might even be making you the toxic one. So on top of you serving in all of these fashions, you're possibly coming off as the toxic one. It's very disappointing. Curious. Very curious. It's not all aligning as it should for you. These energies are supposed to be in a different dynamic. And then, once again, we still haven't found a single card of your energy. We don't have any air here. We don't have any major arcana that are yours. We do have the Chariot, which is a cusp of yours, but it is in the reverse, assigned to cease action. So yeah, you might think that you might have some kind of a Pisces. You might have some Pisces in your chart, because it might feel sort of natural to you, Piscean-esque natural, to sacrifice your energy for other people. It's not serving you, according to all of this. And I would hate for that to be because you are being manipulated. Other people's insecurity really shouldn't be your responsibility. Not as a Gemini. If you were a full-blown Pisces, I might be able to give it to you. But you're not. You're a Gemini. So, we are ending Pisces season. And curious that we have double Pisces major arcana here. So, let's move on. Secondary clarifier for Gemini's King of Cups in the reverse. Secondary clarifier. Secondary clarifier. We have the... Wow, Eight of Swords. First Gemini energy. Dang. Thinking about this all the time isn't what's going to solve the problem. Ruminating about it over and over and over again isn't exactly what is going to work. Another form of stalled energy. So you might be very open to what I'm talking about. It might be making a lot of sense. You might even have, like, it might not even be a news flash. You might be sitting there like, well, not a news flash, not a news flash. If it's not a news flash, then you've got to take some kind of action to do something about this. So let's clarify the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords clarifier. Oops, I ignored my card there. Let's try that another shuffle. It looked like it was the Eight of Cups I bent to. Kind of weird. Alright. Clarifier for Eight of Swords. Wow, Queen of Cups. Jeez. Queen of Cups reversed too. Holy cow, Pisces. I even called you Pisces. You might be a Pisces yourself who's watching a Gemini reading. And you might be fretting over a Gemini. And you might be overthinking it. For whatever reason. Because I'm getting a ton of Pisces energy here. Ton of water energy. A ton of energy about someone else's well-being being your priority. It's just not working. It doesn't appear to be working. The energy is just not there. Even though if you yourself are a Pisces, this might feel like it's all working in some strange way in your soul. The message is that it's not working as much as you think. So, I'm not sure. That is something that you're going to have to decide for yourself, because I'm not sure if you're a Pisces or Gemini, but it would not surprise me if you are a Pisces. Dang. And right when I say that, Page of Pentacles. Taurus energy. Once again, Taurus cusp. Potential. Maybe you are hearing me. Because I'm actually an earth sign, and this is signifying that an earth sign is delivering some value to you. it's definitely a different approach than you're used to. You are used to, according to all of this, the water. All of the water and effectuation. Sort of instability in the sake of others. Even creating some internal anxiety. You could use a solid. You could use a gift. You could use some help. It looks like you would appreciate it. You would appreciate somebody opening this up for you. Alright, final clarifier for the... Also, stable earth is possibly a good way to try and turn around some of this unstable water energy. So, alright, final clarifier for Gemini's Eight of Swords. Four of Pentacles. Earth energy, another Taurus cusp sign, possibly. Sort of to the same degree. A little bit of self-stability unto your calling. Man, it would not surprise me if you are a Pisces. It would not surprise me at all. Pisces usually don't appreciate hearing that they need to consider themselves, though. So perhaps a Gemini with some Pisces in their chart who's open to some of this other energy. Still, though, a lot of earth and water, which is feminine energy. Gemini is masculine energy, air. A very interesting dynamic. Very curious. All right. Final supporting energy for the King of Cups in reverse. Final supporting energy. Dang, Three of Cups reversed. Wow. Even more toxic water energy. Ooh, so the vibe I just got is that when you take on this energy of self-stability, when you detach yourself from these toxic expectations, you're going to ruffle some jimmies. They aren't going to appreciate it, especially if they're like a legit emotional manipulator. If their well-being relies on your sacrifice, you're gonna ruffle some jimmies. I hope you know what that means. It's a meme. Yeah, they're not gonna take it too kindly. They're not going to appreciate it. Alright, let's clarify. First clarification for Three of Cups in the reverse. Four of Cups. Finally, some upright water. Not spectacular. Four of Cups isn't like the happiest water energy, but a step in the right direction. Turning around this energy. It's kind of another sign that it's another sign of you having some Pisces in your chart or being a Pisces. Upon disrupting these individuals, you yourself are sort of miffed. You kind of don't know where to go with the energy. Maybe you're not sure. Maybe you're so used to serving these people or serving this individual that you don't really know where to go with your own energy. But at least you are grasping into something else. Okay. Secondary clarifier for Three of Cups in the reverse for Gemini. I would love to see some Gemini energy here. Gemini Major Arcana, something of the sort. Let's see what we've got. Secondary clarifier for Three of Cups reversed. Hermit reversed. Virgo energy in the reverse. Man. Pisces. Gemini. Try not to regress, Gemini. Try not to regress back to serving these toxic energies. Don't hamper a greater part of your internal light so somebody else can be a lazy, toxic user schmuck at your expense. User schmuck, sorry, I mispronounced that. Disappointing seeing Hermit in reverse. Just another sign of not serving yourself properly. Even though you're kind of dabbling in it in this reading, there is a slight warning here of regression, that you will regress back to the old toxicity. Not cool. Not cool. All right. Final clarifier for the Three of Cups in reverse, please, for Gemini. Final clarifier for Gemini's Three of Cups in the reverse. Knight of Pentacles. Curious. So, for some reason, your salvation is coming through in earth signs. Page of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. The only problem is the Hermit reverse. For some reason, it's another call to your own self-stability. Not sacrificing it to others, for others necessarily. And I'm not saying that that's not a good quality to have, but when it takes too much, there's a problem. So I'm not sure if you've got an earth sign you can lean on. But all of this water energy is super unstable. Your feelings are not serving you. And if you are a Gemini, you're supposed to be rationalizing a little bit more than just feeling shit. It matters that your rationality can put toxic feelings aside when they don't serve you. So maybe you've got a bunch of earth in your chart as well. You could be, once again, okay, so as a Gemini read, you are cusped with Taurus. So maybe you are actually a Taurus-Gemini cusp, in which case leaning into your Taurian energy might help quite a bit. Because if you're a Gemini Cancer cusp, your water is just not helping you out. None of this water energy is helping you out. It's mostly helping others out. So I'm very curious, Gemini. It's definitely a call to serve your own aggrants for a change. And not to continue serving these toxicities. Whether they're your own making or in a genuine fashion to serve others. So, some stability for the self will go a long way. Especially if you're cutting off some toxic users in the process. So, thank you very much for being here, Gemini. Sorry we did not get any Gemini Major Arcana. We only have one air card, and it's an anxiety card anyway. So, a lot of non-Gemini energy in this Gemini reading. That being said, good luck with this, Gemini.